Hey everybody, hope all is well with you and that things are cool in your world. Wanted to jump on today and chat a little bit about when Gigi came to Tampa and was staying with me at the house when we were making Carnival of Excess. You know, you've probably heard me mention these if you've listened to the other stories, about Gigi coming to my place and, all the rest of it. We had some good times and some sketchy times, but we got a lot of work done that week, and overall it was pretty successful. A couple little head bumps, but no big deal. When at this point, Gigi and I had talked on the phone for, a year and a half, and I had met him when I went up to North Carolina and shot video and shot the photos with Anti-Scene and all that stuff. So we kind of knew each other pretty well at that point. And, we had been on the phone a lot prior to him coming to Tampa, just getting some of the logistics straightened out. One of the things was I had to buy him a plane ticket, and he had to show that to his parole officer before his parole officer would let him come down to Tampa. So we didn't even know if he was going to be able to go. And I was kind of freaking out because I had already bought the ticket. But Gigi was like, fuck him, I'm going to go regardless of what he says. So whatever. Anyway, so one of the things I was thinking about, I was like, oh man, what are we going to do when he's here? Idle time with Gigi, that's when trouble starts. So I wanted to keep him busy. I always wanted to have something scheduled, or at least that day, during the day, because we did a lot of work. We did a lot of stuff. We had interviews and in-stores and photo shoots and video shoots, and we recorded the album, and, we had other fanzine people coming in. Gigi agreed to do a couple interviews with people coming over, so we had people coming in and out of the house, and so I had planned to keep him busy, but there was still, times when we weren't going to be busy. And a lot of that time, we were drinking, especially late nights. We consumed a lot. And I think that's one of the reasons why Gigi and I got along well. At that point in my life, I was able to go shot for shot with Gigi in terms of the drinking. In fact, on the way home, when I picked him up in the airport, one of the things we did is stopped at the liquor store where Bob Widenhofer was working. He's the guy who wrote the songs for Carnival. I wanted to introduce those guys, but he was working at a liquor store. And, I picked up a bottle of Beam for Gigi and a bottle of Cuervo for me, and we went back to the house and pretty much just started drinking him, both bottles right away. And we actually finished them both that night. It was a pretty saturated evening. But, so like I said, I like to have a lot of things planned for us to do, but not planned, if that makes any sense. Gigi was a little, I think Gigi actually enjoyed his time at the house because everything was pretty even keel and pretty easy. Like I said, I had stuff scheduled. Everything was cool. We didn't have too much idle time, where we're just sitting around looking at each other, and I think that was good. One of the things we like to do is, and I had mentioned this to Gigi when we were making the arrangements of him coming down. I told him we had an above-ground pool at the house. And, if you wanted to use it, bring some shorts. He didn't really say much then, so I just figured it was like whatever. But as it turns out, one of the things we like to do a lot is Gigi and I swam a lot when he was down there. And before he came, I double shocked and double chlorinated the pool. So it was nice and sanitary or whatever, waiting his arrival. Anyways, I didn't realize Gigi, was so aquatic and liked to swim, but he did. In fact, that first night where we hammered down those 2 bottles of booze, we ended up, rolling around in the deck and, half-ass fighting and, jumping in the pool. And pissing off the neighbors and all that sort of stuff. It was really great fun, actually. and I never in a million years thought that, Gigi would be so into swimming, but he was. So we did that almost every day. It was hot when he was in Florida. It was at the middle to end of July, so it was very hot. So the pool was a relief, and I had people asking me questions about this recently. From the last video I did, they asked about his sanitary habits, about taking showers. I don't think we took showers that week because we had the pool and we were always in it. So, I was pretty fortunate. There wasn't any, odd, funky Gigi odors or anything. It was pretty good strategy from that aspect. But we really did like going swimming. Here's some pictures, actually, of us in the pool. These were taken after the in-store. My buddy Chris Aschenbrenner, who's also a punk associate, he came over from Gainesville and he drove us home. And we were all partying at the house after the in-store, and he's the one that took these pictures. Kind of cool and kind of funny. Unfortunately, that's the only pictures. I didn't have the video camera out or my camera out when when we were hanging out and swimming in the other days of the week. I guess I just kind of, I kind of wanted it to be. There was times where Gigi just didn't want the camera on all the time, and I was very aware and very connected to that because I knew that's the sure way to get him pissed off was to be filming and videoing him when he wasn't interested. And I was very, very cognizant about that and very respectful. But yeah, man, we would swim almost daily, and it was just really funny and kind of surreal just because, some of the conditions and positions that I've seen Gigi in over the, a couple of years I was dealing with him, it just always used to, resonate in my mind when we're out there swimming like, wow, I can't believe this guy's in my pool when just not too terribly long ago I was watching him destroy himself at the Harbor Club. But we did. He enjoyed swimming, and, I had a little Smokey Joe barbecue grill, so we cook food out there during the day and sit on the deck and have some beers and listen to music. And that's in the other video I made where I talk about the records we were listening to. Excuse me. We listened to Babylon by Bus, the Bob Marley album, a lot when we were out there hanging by the pool. It just seemed right, and Gigi, he enjoyed that record for whatever reason. And I had a boombox and had that on cassette, so I played that out there a lot when we would swim. Just seemed to go together. But that was one of the ways we filled some time when there wasn't anything on schedule, and was to just kind of hang out and go swimming. And it was one of those things that I just kind of didn't think Gigi would really enjoy, but it turns out that he did enjoy it, and it really made the week go by a little better from a shower perspective, and just we had fun. It was hot, and we enjoyed going in the pool and drinking a few beers while we're swimming around. Gigi was actually a pretty good swimmer. Somewhere on YouTube, I think there's some pictures where he's at his family's house and he's by a pool and swimming. I don't know, you guys can search around and find that. But anyways, just figured I'd chat with you a little bit and tell our little swimming stories. If you could, subscribe and like and all that stuff, it really helps the channel out a lot, grows the channel out a little bit, and helps me with the algorithm. So I really would appreciate it if you guys can do that for me, and I can keep these stories coming to you. Also, I'm found on Instagram. There's a lot of unreleased pictures and photos of Gigi there. It's at Punk Media, which you can see there. And just keep checking back. I'm going to be posting stories as the weeks go on. And that's it. I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for listening to this. Appreciate it.